You're welcome to Healthy Relationship Plug. Okay, let's talk about that one fight. You know the one. It kicks off over something ridiculous, like which way the toilet paper should hang, but an hour later, you're both angry on opposite sides of the couch and wondering, wait, what were we even fighting about? It felt like it was about so much more. And that's because it was.
You know, so many of the biggest blow-ups in a marriage, the ones that leave us feeling the most confused, actually come down to how we see one single word. This one word can be the blueprint for a marriage that feels like a team or one that feels like a battle. So the question is, which one are you building? And that word is submission. I know, right? Just hearing it can make some of us cringe. That word comes with a ton of baggage, a lot of weird history, and let's be honest, some really bad interpretations. So let's just clear the air and figure out what's really going on with it.
Because for so many of us, when we hear submission, our brains immediately flash these images, don't they? We think of being a doormat, of having to be weak, or maybe the worst one, of being silenced. It feels like you have to check your brain and your voice at the door. But I'm telling you, that is a huge and really damaging misunderstanding of the whole idea.
So what if the real meaning of submission has absolutely nothing to do with weakness? What if it's actually one of the biggest power moves you can make in your marriage? Yeah, let's talk about what it actually is, because it's probably not what you think. See, at its very heart, submission isn't about one person being the boss of another. Not at all. It's a really powerful, really intentional choice to line up with God's design for your marriage, a design that's meant to create unity and peace. It's a position of incredible strength, not weakness.
So how does this play out in real life? Well, first, it's about respecting his role. Not because he's perfect, because nobody is, but as a way of honoring the structure God put in place. It's also a true partnership, which means your wisdom, your gut feelings, your ideas, they're not just welcome, they're needed. This is not blind obedience. And it all has to come from a willing heart. It's a gift you give, not a silence that's forced on you. And, at the end of the day, your ultimate trust is in God, not just in your husband.
Okay, so we know what it is, but sometimes the easiest way to see something clearly is to look at what it's not. And luckily, there's a super simple way to tell if what you're experiencing is the real deal or something else entirely.
Just ask yourself this one question the next time you're in a tough conversation or making a decision together. Get quiet for a second and check in with your heart. What's the main feeling here? Is it love? Is it security? Or is it fear?
And if the answer is fear, fear of his anger, fear of speaking your mind, fear that you'll be punished in some way, then let's be crystal clear. What you are dealing with is not submission. It's control. Control plays by a totally different set of rules. It's all about silencing your voice and making you feel like your thoughts just don't count. It thrives on fear, not love, and it robs you of your freedom to just be you. Control demands that you comply, and it often leads to that awful feeling of walking on eggshells, and that is absolutely not the goal of a healthy, thriving marriage. Okay, let's pull this out of the clouds and see what it looks like on the ground. It's one thing to talk about these big ideas, but seeing them in a real, everyday situation, that makes all the difference. So let's picture this. You and your husband are talking about making a major financial move. Maybe it's buying a new car or making a big investment. He is 100% on board, he's excited, but you've got this little knot in your stomach. Something just doesn't feel right. And right here, this is where you see the difference. In a healthy dynamic, your concern is seen as valuable. Your words are an invitation. Let's figure this out together. But in a relationship based on control, your concern is a roadblock. It gets dismissed, shut down, and the decision is just steamrolled through. See, one builds the team, the other one completely breaks it. When you get right down to it, the reason these two things feel so different is because they come from two completely different places. Their foundations couldn't be more opposite. Healthy submission can only grow in the soil of trust and love. It has to feel safe enough for you to be open and honest. Control, though, control is always rooted in fear and a deep need for power. It comes from a place of insecurity that screams, I have to be in charge, or everything will fall apart. One builds connection, the other builds walls. If you don't remember anything else from our chat today, please remember this. Submission says, I choose to follow. It's an active decision you make. Control says you must obey. One is an invitation to dance, the other is a demand to march. So let's reframe this one last time. Submission is not about being a slave or becoming less of who you are. Real submission is your strength, your wisdom, and your incredible spirit, all wrapped up in a deep, powerful trust. Trust in your husband, and most of all, trust in the God who designed marriage to be beautiful. So that whole argument about the toilet paper, it's not really about the toilet paper, is it? It's about which kind of marriage you're building, one small choice at a time. Is it one built on love and trust, or one on fear and control? I want to encourage you, maybe even tonight, have that conversation. Just ask each other, hey, where are we on this, and where do we want to go together? If this helped bring some clarity for you, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. We are here to help you build a marriage that you will absolutely love coming home to.